Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. You've seen the highlight reels, the viral clips of Caitlin Clark draining logo threes, the behind-the-back passes that leave defenders in the dust. Videos like the one we're about to dissect, Caitlin Clark destroying the WNBA for 8 minutes straight, promise a dominant force rewriting the game. But are those 8 minutes really telling the whole story? Are the highlight reels accurately portraying Caitlin Clark's impact on the WNBA? Is she really living up to the hype? I've seen legends rise, systems evolve, and the WNBA push the boundaries of athleticism and skill. I've pored over countless hours of film, stats, and game tape to give you my honest opinion. Today, we're diving deep. We're going beyond the sensational headlines and highlight reels to analyze Caitlin Clark's performance, her strengths, her challenges, and the real impact she's having on the WNBA. Forget the noise. Let's talk real basketball. Buckle up, because this isn't your average highlight reel breakdown. Okay, let's start with what the highlight reel gets right. Caitlin Clark is undeniably a generational talent. Her range is absurd. Her court vision, especially those no-look and behind-the-back passes, are things you just can't teach. The speed, the awareness, the understanding of how to manipulate the defense, it's all truly special. But here's where the highlight reel starts to lose me. The WNBA is a league of seasoned professionals. These are women who have dedicated their lives to this sport, who possess an incredible level of skill and athleticism. It is important to remember that transitioning from college dominance to WNBA stardom is rarely seamless. The league is filled with experienced defenders and complex defensive schemes. Clark is now playing against players who are physically stronger, faster, and savvier than anyone she faced in college. People are expecting her to immediately dominate like she did in college, and that's just unrealistic. The learning curve is steep, and she's facing defenses specifically designed to neutralize her. Let's look at the offensive side of things, because that's where Clark shines. Her ability to create her own shot, like that step-back three, is something the Indiana Fever desperately needed. She's forcing defenses to extend, opening up opportunities for her teammates. She has the ability to change the game single-handedly. But watch closely, even in these highlights, there are glimpses of the challenges she faces. She gets bumped hard on drives, forcing tougher finishes. Defenders are quicker to close out on her, contesting those deep threes. One thing you need to take into account is that she still has to learn to read defenses better in WNBA. I have been very observant when it comes to watching her play this season, and I feel like she telegraphs some passes too much. Against college teams, she could get away with this, but WNBA defenders are smart and athletic enough to jump those passing lanes. The WNBA is a physical league. That's not a criticism. It's a testament to the athleticism and competitiveness of the players. Clark is adjusting to this physicality. She needs to continue to develop her strength and learn how to use her body to create space and draw fouls. Let me take you back to the early days of the WNBA. Lisa Leslie, one of the league's all-time greats, faced similar challenges. In her rookie season, she averaged 15.6 points per game, a far cry from the dominant numbers she would later put up. She struggled with the physicality and the defensive intensity, but she adapted. She worked on her strength, her footwork, and her understanding of the game. It takes time. She dedicated herself to the game, listened to feedback from her coaches, and learned from her mistakes. Years later, she would be one of the most dominant players in the league. And I think it is the same for Caitlin. She will get to that level. Clark needs to learn to embrace the physicality. She needs to get stronger, yes, but also learn how to use her body to create space, draw fouls, and finish through contact. Let's talk about the logo three. It's become Clark's signature shot, and it's undoubtedly exciting. Wheeler staring at the right side, knowing Clark is there, and then drop passing it to her from the logo to shoot. As entertaining as the shot is, it does not make sense to have that as your bread and butter, and she has to be ready to drive to the basket when teams take that away from her. Beyond the scoring, Clark's playmaking is a huge asset. Those assists to Smith demonstrate her ability to find open teammates and create easy scoring opportunities. That's crucial for the Fever's success. The most successful teams always have a player that can make those type of reads. I would like to tell you the story of Sue Bird. Sue Bird, another WNBA legend and arguably the greatest point guard of all time, built her career on making her teammates better. She was a prolific scorer, of course, but her true genius lay in her ability to orchestrate the offense, find the open player, and make everyone around her better. Sue Bird always put the team first and elevated her teammates. Clark needs to embrace that philosophy. She must focus on making her teammates better. If she over-relies on tough shots, it will limit the Fever's offensive potential. She needs to read the game and make the right play, whether that's taking the shot herself or finding the open teammate. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, defense. This is where Clark faces her biggest challenge. The WNBA is full of athletic guards who can exploit defensive weaknesses. Right now, she is a defensive liability. She needs to improve her lateral quickness, her understanding of defensive rotations, and her willingness to compete on every possession. The hype surrounding Caitlin Clark is unprecedented. She's brought a new level of attention to the WNBA, which is fantastic. But that hype also creates immense pressure. Remember when Yao Ming came to the NBA? The hype was insane. The expectations were sky high. Everyone wanted to see the next great superstar. And as the most recognized athlete in China, he bore the weight of an entire nation on his shoulders. It wasn't easy. He faced immense pressure from the media, from fans, and from his own internal expectations. The constant scrutiny impacted him early in his career. Yao Ming also had to adjust to the speed, athleticism, and physicality of the NBA, but just like Yao, Clark needs time to adjust and mature. It's crucial that we give her time to develop, to learn from her mistakes, and to grow as a player. So, is Caitlin Clark destroying the WNBA? No, not yet. But is she a game-changing talent with the potential to become a superstar? Absolutely. She is a work in progress that must have the right guidance and teammates around her. The WNBA is a league on the rise, and Caitlin Clark is a major part of that story. But it's important to remember that success takes time, dedication, and hard work. She has to work just as hard to improve her weaknesses. One aspect of Clark's game that needs further refinement is her pick-and-roll execution. The pick-and-roll is a staple of modern basketball, and mastering it is crucial for any point guard, especially in the WNBA where defenses are so sophisticated. Offensively, she shows flashes of brilliance, especially her ability to read the defense and make the right pass. She can thread the needle to the rolling big or kick it out to an open shooter on the perimeter. But she also needs to improve her patience and decision-making. Sometimes, she forces a pass into a crowded lane or settles for a contested shot when a better option is available. Defensively, she needs to be more disciplined and aggressive in her pick-and-roll coverage. She needs to anticipate screens better, fight through them more effectively, and communicate with her teammates to avoid mismatches. This is an area where experience and film study will be invaluable. I would love to see the Fever coaching staff work with Clark on developing a counter move after a pick and roll. For example, it would be advantageous for her to fake the shot and then attack the basket if the defense is trying to close the three-point line really hard. Right now, she just settles for the three, which is what the defense wants. While Clark is known for her deep threes, developing a reliable mid-range game would make her even more dangerous. Defenses are already keying in on her three-point shot, and being able to knock down shots from 15 to 18 feet would give her more options and make her harder to guard. Think about Michael Jordan's fadeaway jumper. It was practically unguardable because he had mastered the footwork. the balance, and the release. He could create space, elevate over defenders, and knock down the shot with incredible accuracy. Developing a go-to mid-range move like that would make Clark unstoppable. Now, I am not comparing Clark to Jordan because that would be blasphemy. But I just want to emphasize the importance of that mid-range game, even though subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you never miss out. Click the video on the screen. See you.